welcome to the Friends of Zeus podcast. I'm Zeus. Tom is here. Can you wave your hand, Tom? I don't want to say where you are on my screen. And Tor, you can wave your hand, but you don't need to because you're the guy that's not me. So a couple things. I want to get the business out of the way, as I am wont to do with every episode. You can find us on most of the podcast, what would you call it?
Platforms
that are out there. The key ones probably being Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. We put it up, but that just takes you to YouTube. Rumble, Anchor, you name it, Stitcher. And I'm trying to get on more. You'll notice
what we could really use is if you hit the like button and hit subscribe, that'll really help us. And if you're watching us on like iTunes or any platform that has the ability for you to leave a review, please leave us a review. That'll help.
Yeah, and we always have our email there. It's foz@friendsofzeuspodcast.com. We're working on the website. Send us an email. Tell us you hate us. Tell us you like us. Tell us what you want us to talk about. But tell us what, a big one would be, tell us what you want us to talk about. If you want to come on, by all means. I mean, Tor here, he's a homeless person, and he called us on his phone, and and we were like, okay, he's homeless, but he's got a phone. Now, give us some feedback. We want to do more. We love doing this. We're going to continue to do it whether people interact or not, but we'd like to feel some love or even some hate. Give us a chance to change your mind, you know?
Send us a FOIA request.
Yeah. Yes, we'll rush into your house and tear everything down. So we wanted to have Tor on because Tor is... Now, I've said it before on the show, I'm left, but I lean a little more right lately. But I'm definitely left. I think I can speak for Tom and say that he's generally in that same range.
Kind of a centrist, but conservative, and in some ways centrist in other ways.
Yeah. Sure. So tonight we wanted to have another...
I'm radical. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really not. But I am progressive. So that
compared to us, you're what I would call nuclear left. But
sure. But you know what though? It's funny though, because I definitely I can play that role for the most part. But I kind of believe that.
Well, let's say what we're talking about tonight, in case you're going to talk about.
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
So this is going to be. We called the first one Trump versus the FBI. So that'll be part one. This is going to be an addendum, part two. We're just talking about the Mar-A-Lago stuff. We did that like 3 weeks ago. So we're just going to kind of follow up and go over the timeline, things like that, and give our opinions, because that's what we do. So go ahead, Tor. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I certainly believe that we have not reached our pinnacle in this country. And I think that that's ultimately why I'm progressive. You go to a business and you talk to any of the big businesses and you say, what do you plan? Where do you plan to be 5 years from now? And none of them are going to say right where we are right now.
No.
Right. And so being progressive means how do we progress? How do we move forward together so that things are better now, or things are better for my kids 10 years from now and their grandkids, like it's been better for me compared to my grandparents. And the only way you get there is by being on the left, because the right doesn't have ideas right now. Right? It doesn't. The right is very conservative. It means the whole idea is status quo. It's
a good balance, actually.
But like status quo to me is part of the reason why you're seeing a backlash against things that like to me, the idea of Black Lives Matter shouldn't be controversial. It shouldn't be, we have to get the other side. No, there shouldn't be no. Yes, they do matter. Great. There shouldn't be an argument to that. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? There's no counterpoint. There doesn't need to be a counterpoint. And that's where we talked about this the last time I was on, Zeus. The rhetoric has become so inflamed where we're all of the same age-ish, yeah,
Yeah.
right? You know, our language is cable TV, right?
Right, right.
We can quote, like I could probably write down or say 5 quotes of movies, and you probably between the two of you are going to get all of them, because we grew up on HBO. We grew up watching movies over and over again. That's what we had.
We're the
right?
Pulp Fiction.
So yeah, well, even before that, man, it's when I had HBO and watching Jaws when it came on HBO when I was 12 or whatever, 10, and Jaws is on again. Yep, watching that. That's why I can recite the entire movie. Star Wars, we can recite the entire movie. We have a commonality of language and of experience.
Except that our memory's going, so we probably can't.
I'm sorry?
I said our memory's going, so we're probably.
That's true.
And our hearing, apparently.
That's a good point. But so I kind of feel like, so we can get onto the topic now, but I mean, basically, I'm a progressive because they're the people that are at least thinking about it. They're trying. Like I gave Andrew Yang a chance. I started to listen to him during his.
I like Yang.
I like Yang too. There's some things I like. There's something, and then now all of a sudden it's like, I don't know how principled he is.
I think
you know what
Tulsi
I mean?
Gabbard was better. I think.
I don't know enough about her. But regardless, I think onto the topic. I mean, I certainly am progressive. I don't mind saying it, but also I'm pretty open-minded. I don't mind being fiscally responsible. Like I think that's something too that we can certainly be.
I'm so tired of hearing fiscally responsible, because that allows people to just diminish ethically responsible. Oh, let's just base all my thoughts on my finance or how financially right it is. So I don't like that term. So
Well,
that's
here's
one of
the
the
thing.
ones where I don't agree with
Okay.
the right.
Well,
What I do want to remark on what you said, I have never thought that BLM is, and then we'll talk about the Mar-A-Lago stuff.
Sure.
That BLM is controversial, at least not for the same reasons that most people think. I think that when you say one life matters, well, first of all, I say, duh, every life matters. I don't like when people go, well, no, you can't say every life matters. That's a cop-out. No, every life matters.
Of course it does.
But my problem with BLM, and it's not a problem with the people in the organization. My problem is that when you say Black Lives Matter, there are people out there, and I'll call them mouth breathers. I can think beyond it, but I think a lot of people go, well, what lives don't matter? And
of course.
then you get this reverse. It's actually reversing the effect that they were going for, because now they've segregated themselves, but they're saying don't segregate. So that's where I have an issue with it.
Zeus, I totally agree with you. I totally understand what you're saying. If they had called their movement Black Lives Matter too, everything is fine.
Or
because seriously though, because here's the point of it is, like, they haven't mattered the same, or it hasn't been equal for a long time. And to assume that it is, we can go back to when slavery is liberated in 1865, we can go to segregation in the 50s or 60s. We're not at equal stature yet, right? And especially you start to look at things like police response to the in Cleveland, the young man sitting in, or the kid sitting on a swing set with a toy gun, gets responded with 6 shots in his chest, and we got guys that are coming out of mass shootings alive, and the difference in skin color is really prevalent, right? So I'm just saying that it's
okay. I'm going to poke a hole in that. I think that if you're a school shooter or a mass shooter and you shoot somebody, I don't think that the color of your skin has any effect on whether you're living. So what they want to do is they want to know why. The why is what people.
I agree with that, but it's also, I mean, most of the shooters are white. Most of those.
I think there's a lot of them that are getting shot by the police at the same time.
Yeah, now that's the case, but
of course, yeah.
And I don't even necessarily agree with that. If you look at the list of them, now African Americans, probably not a lot of them. I will 100% jump on board with that African Americans don't tend to do the mass shootings, unless you throw gangland kind of shit. Then you could say, yeah, tons of mass shootings.
Sure, different ball of wax, just as bad.
But there are a ton of people of color that do it. Uvalde, that kid, I believe, was Hispanic. I tend to, because I read up on these things a lot. This is my wheelhouse site, so
Sure.
I'm always looking at this stuff. There's a lot of people of color to one degree or another, but I would say yes, Black, probably not. So anyway,
what's the ratio of African Americans shot and killed to their population size? Do you know what I mean?
Well, the argument, and we're really getting away from Mar-A-Lago. The argument
Yeah,
to
we
that
are.
would be that, and it's unfortunate, but I would say that
Socioeconomic issues.
socioeconomical. You have a smaller place with.
But that's part of the problem, though.
Well,
Zeus,
yeah,
right?
but at
That's
some
part of
point-
what the whole institutionalizing of the issues are.
Yeah,
Exactly right. The schools are deteriorating in those areas. It's all combined. Like, that's the whole point.
I think it has more to do with parenting. I think these,
Sure, of
like,
course, but
school shooters, you'll find out more often than not, there's not a father there. I think a good familial background stops violence all across the board.
I don't know,
Anyway,
yeah, that's fine.
anyway,
Well, let's get to topic. Well, I'll cut all that out.
so no. I mean,
Basically,
that's like,
start right
again.
before Zeus started talking about the medical stuff. Get rid of
Hello.
all the knee
You
stuff.
can
cut
find
it
us
out.
on
no.
Spotify.
I'm not diminishing. I'm not diminishing what you were saying, but we did say it's about Mar-A-Lago. So
I totally get you.
I guess the thing that I want to say about this, I find it, and I've said this on the last one, and I'm interested in your take on it, because I find it appalling that this happened. And I don't like Trump. I've made that
Sure.
abundantly clear over and over and over. But I do like the office of president. And I feel like this was not the way this is done. You don't attack the office of president. It's a sacred office. And you
He's not
don't.
the president. He is a civilian.
You know what they call him? If
He is a civilian.
Hold
He
on.
is not the president. He's not the president.
If he walks into a restaurant,
He
you
is
think
not
they're
the president,
calling him
Zeus.
Civilian Trump, or are they going to call him president?
He is not the president of the United States.
They're all
The president is the
Wait a
office.
minute,
The
wait.
president is the office.
He
He's
is a
former
former
president.
president of the United States. He
Yeah.
still gets the Secret Service
course.
protection and all of that.
But-
He's got the
yes, but-
presidential library on the way.
But he is a civilian in that he.
It-
What do you do? How do you do
don't-
something like
you
this?
can't treat him like
How do
any
you do
other
so- okay.
ordinary civilian.
Yeah.
Of course not. Of course
That's
not. But by
it-
that
the-
same token, what's going on? He has, look, we can agree he's got, in the least, top secret documents, at worst, like spies giving away intel, things like that, right? But he's got top secret documents that were at Mar-a-Lago.
I don't know if he's got, wait, spies. Okay, we'll get to
Yeah, I
it.
don't.
Let's break it down, but go ahead.
The designations that in the affidavit, did you guys read the affidavit?
Yeah.
So the designations, the NORCOM, and I forget what all the acronyms are.
The
Yeah.
foreign, yeah.
So-
Nor
so
foreign, no
there-
foreign.
Right. And one of them, HS, I'm not sure, had to deal with very, very.
These are
intelligence.
allegations, I guess you'd say.
No, these are actually what was found. These are what they were looking for, and then what was actually
No, they
found.
didn't find evidence that a spy handed over
No,
documents to
that's
a
not what I
foreign
said.
government.
That's
They
not what I
didn't
said.
find
That has nothing to do with it. That's totally
He'd be
irrelevant.
the stupidest spy on the planet if he was president and started giving away secrets.
It's
He's
totally irrelevant.
so under the
Totally
microscope.
irrelevant. He has, these documents are sensitive, right? Can we at least say that?
Yeah.
If not top secret,
Sensitive.
No,
we don't
that-
know the degree.
Yeah.
They're certainly not run of the mill,
No.
right?
Mhm.
So if they are indeed, so there's some sort, they're sensitive.
Yeah.
Not locked down, right? He did not.
I would contest that, but
That
do you
was
wanna
part of the
do
reason why that was part of the reason why, because they watched the surveillance footage and saw people going in and out of the rooms.
if you've got a place with surveillance footage, that's pretty well
That's
secure.
not locked down. No, it absolutely is
we're
not.
talking
That's
about-
the thing that's great. That's killing me about this.
Listen,
If anyone can walk into that room,
no. Nobody can just walk into Mar-a-Lago.
One second, I'll be right back.
no, that's not what I said.
The whole place is guarded 24 hours a day by Secret Service.
Did
They've
you
got
just
security
see about
cameras
the
everywhere.
the Russian
Even the
spy
FBI.
that just happened, Tom? The
Listen,
Russian
even the
spy that just got
FBI,
caught on Mar-A-Lago that was posing as a Ukrainian princess or oligarch's daughter? Did
I
you
don't
that
think
just
they
happened
went
2
through the
days ago?
box. Even the FBI, if you look at the affidavit, they needed directions from an informant to tell them where to go through this maze
Yeah,
of
that's great.
hallways and
The
rooms.
informant knew where it
go.
was.
Right. So you
Right?
can just walk in.
There were
and
people that knew.
start
Well,
rifling
it
through
doesn't matter
boxes.
though. Here's the thing. This is the thing. This is where it doesn't matter. That not just one informant, it sounds like, but many informants have told them where these documents are. Right. So a lot of people knew. Okay.
It's
Now,
okay though. I don't have
no,
an
that's
issue
not
with
okay.
them
That's
having
horrible.
documents.
That's the
No,
worst thing. That's not secure.
It is
As soon as you-
secure. You can't walk into Mar-a-Lago and start
But-
rifling through boxes.
That's not what I said. And that's not what I'm talking about. Think about this. How many people, one informant or more, but let's just say one informant knows what's in that room, right? How do they know what's in that room? How do they know specifically what's in that room? They have to have that in the affidavit. That's part of what's redacted, right?
But
They
there's
have to
no-
know
there's
specifics.
There's no case showing that that happened or that
What-
there was a likely potential that that would happen.
if that person can get, if one person can get into that room with a phone, all of that stuff is compromised.
It's harder to
Because you
get to
can walk
that.
out of it with your phone. No one's checking their
Right.
phones on
It
the
would
way out.
be- Tor, it would be
Well, you don't
easier
know
to
that.
get to, listen to me.
Of
it would
course they're
be-
not. Come on. You know,
It would
Wait,
be
wait.
easier to get to Hillary Clinton's emails because they're digital. To try to get to
And
paper
here-
documents,
Sure.
you'd
No,
have to
that's
actually
exactly what I
get
just said,
into
Tom.
into the
Tom, I
building.
walk in there with my phone. I take pictures of all the documents. I walk out with my phone.
Okay,
nobody
then
knows I
you
took
broke the
anything.
law. You broke the law.
So, but yes, of course, I'm a spy at that point. I'm
But
going to steal
no,
them and try to, but that's
Yeah,
the
the
whole
big
point.
problem-
That's why they can't have them there, Tom.
Let me tell
That's
you the big
exactly
problem.
why this
No,
is
no, no.
against the law.
We'll get to that, but it's not that he is the president, as Zeus said, or was the president. The more egregious fact is that he's basically the leader of the opposition party in this country, right?
If
He's the
Barack
leader of the
Obama
Republican Party.
did something like this out
And
of
to raid
office,
his
Whoa. Hold on. Barack Obama, and I like Barack, but Barack Obama took a shitload of documents.
30 million.
Yeah. So we
30
can't use
million
that.
with the
pages.
knowledge of the archives, this is totally
Well,
different.
They have
But-
knowledge of that
but
Trump took
again,
some
my point
documents
is-
too.
So I can't believe that you guys can't see the national security implications of.
There's no national to accuse Donald Trump, a president.
I'm
of
not accusing
potential
anybody,
espionage.
But see, here's the thing.
Like he's going to
No,
be
this is not
selling.
accusing. No, wait. If there are documents there that are sensitive, at what point does this become a problem in your mind? Never? If there's top secret documents?
If
not-
something
it's not an
if
issue.
something got out, then and it
How do
was
you know
like-
it
was-
didn't get out already?
'cause
That's
there's no
exactly what I just
evidence,
said.
It would have came to light.
How?
We would
Really
know
think.
about it.
How?
Through
How?
surveillance.
This is what
They have
spies do, man.
surveillance of everywhere. There's video cameras.
This is why the FBI said they had to do a raid, is because there were people that were going in and out
That's
of that
why
room.
they said they had to do a raid.
There was okay, so you're saying that the judge is totally in on it, and this is totally partisan. Is that what you're really
I think we're dealing with too many
What if?
absolutes.
What if? Okay, here I got a what if. for you,
Hold
Tom.
on.
Wait, hold up, Zeus. I have to ask Tom. What if it's as bad as we think? What if
as
it's,
bad as you think?
this is an important question because I need to
What if
know what the degree is, because at some point, this is the guy that said I can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and my followers would still follow me. At what point, if there is top secret documents that were in there, if there was something that is more than sensitive, was absolutely a national security issue, then do you say, oh yeah, well, we should have, that's fucked up. He
Well,
shouldn't have
then
done
he would have handled them differently, but he
that. What?
stated
Why?
he's-
Why?
because they are sensitive. They would have
If
been
it turns
highly
out that he
sensitive
is
in
a
that
spy,
case.
if it turns out that he is turning over documents, this is the only way that you find out.
What do you mean if he turns out to be a
So
spy?
they
That's
they-
exactly, why is he not? How do you know
He's
100%?
Donald J. Trump. How is he going to spy? The Secret Service
Yeah.
is following him,
Everybody
going
knows
everywhere
what he
he
looks
goes.
like.
He-
What do you think he's doing? Like handing over
Or this
nuclear
falls-
secrets to Iran?
What did he talk to about? What did he talk to with Putin when he took his translator's notes? Do you know 100% for sure what he said? No, nobody
he
does.
said,
That's
"If
the
you
point. Nobody
take one
does.
step
This is the guy
into
that has had a
Ukraine, I'm going to
relationship.
bomb the
This guy,
hell
you
out
guys,
of Moscow."
I don't understand how you guys don't.
That's what he told him.
Well, Tor, we're also not getting heated.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I
It's
apologize.
okay. He's
And
just
we're
excited
not
right now.
morons. We just have a differing opinion.
But see, like it's
My problem, wait, I need to say
I'm
this.
trying to give you the extreme of
Right.
what if it's really bad? If it's really bad, you have to go about finding out by raids, by getting a subpoena.
Well, it's like
right?
saying,
By
well,
getting a
what if
search
there's
warrant.
a dead body in my basement? I mean,
Oh,
you
there's
can't
definitely-
assume the word. You have to have something.
That's
more
what they did.
tangible
They
go
went to a
on.
judge. Do you really think the judge is in on it
The
too?
judge hated Trump.
No.
You know
Okay,
that
so
he
it's
was
all
an
partisan.
Obama
It's all
appointee.
personal. It's all partisan. It's all
He
personal. Is that what
he
you're
did
saying?
publicly ridicule Donald
It
Trump.
doesn't. Okay, so it's all. But that's the thing. So
I'm not
that-
saying
if
it
their
all is.
opinion,
I'm
then
just
it's
saying
wrong.
that
I'm not saying that.
it's very coincidental that
Sure.
judge was chosen.
Let's stop dealing with absolutes. We're from our side, and believe me,
My point is, though, Zeus, the absolute is important because if it is bad, and I don't know how bad it is, I would say that probably the way these things work, it's usually like 62% of how bad everybody thinks it is. It's not terrible, but it's worse than what you guys think.
I think that if
That's
it
what
was
I would say.
62%
So-
this situation, Trump would already be in jail. They'd love to put him in jail. What I think, here's my prediction.
This is the problem that we have,
Hold on,
guys,
hold on,
is that
hold on.
we're still talking
Let me
about
finish what
they.
I'm saying. Let me
I'm
finish
not
what I'm
they. I'm not.
saying. I didn't call you they. Listen,
That's what you just said.
I didn't. Did I say Tor? You are they?
No, they'd love to put him in jail. Like
I'm saying the current establishment would
okay.
like to put him in jail. If they can get him off the market, boom.
If
Of
he
course they would.
deserves it.
Hold on.
This is
Hold
a
on.
dirty guy, guys. This is a guy that was mobbed up from the 70s.
Sure, I think
Like-
those are a lot of assumptions
is all
and
hearsay.
preconceived ideas, but those are in your head, though. I mean, there's
Hey, you know
nothing-
what?
I grew up in New York, guys. I grew up with Donald Trump. I've heard of Donald Trump way before you guys.
I'm going to paint a picture for you. I love Clinton. In fact, of the presidents that we've ever had,
Sure.
he's probably my favorite. But if you look at the list of some like 400 dead people that were connected to him and Hillary with Whitewater.
Dude, I have to trust you. I don't know.
No,
And quite
dude,
honestly, I don't care.
you have to have heard these things.
Yeah.
There is a plethora of dead bodies in the wake of it.
But
So
Okay.
my
How do you go get them then, Zeus?
what?
How do you go get them? If that is true, that's awful. I'll tell you what that's more
Sure.
close that I believe. Hang on. I'll
Sure.
tell you something that's more close to
You
that.
asked me a question, let me answer.
Okay. Sorry, please.
It's moot.
not to those families.
Oh, Jack.
Yeah, I agree, but to our conversation, it's moot. What I'm saying is you talk about somebody being dirty.
I got a
say-
closer one for you
say-
that I agree
well,
with you.
Hold on. I say that seems pretty fucking dirty.
Sure.
Right?
Again, I don't know the specifics of
Did they
that, so I
kill
can't talk
anybody?
to it
No.
that with you. But I can talk about something that's much closer to home to a lot of people, or timeline wise, is I think he's a sleazebag for being with Epstein. If he was doing
Bill
stuff,
Clinton?
Who else was with
Clinton.
Epstein? Guess
Clinton,
who
I'm
they
talking
were
about
with?
Clinton. I know who else was. I'm talking about Clinton. If Clinton was doing shit with Epstein, that all this crap that was going on his island with these young girls, throw the book at him, put him in jail, whatever, give him the chair. Absolutely. And I have no problem with that at all. But that's my point is, how do you get him?
Well,
If he did
you
that,
could release
he
the
deserves
list
to go
of
to jail.
names
If
from,
Trump
from Ghislaine
did this,
Maxwell.
he deserves to go to jail. That's the point that I was trying to make by the extreme. If the extreme is true, he deserves to go to
Okay, but
jail.
if, like I said, if there's a dead body in my basement, I deserve to go to jail. But
If
Yeah,
somebody
can't
says
just
I saw a
assume
dead
the
body in your
extreme.
basement, then that's the point. Then yes, then we'll get a search warrant, and that's what happened. And
Well,
now it
you
can't all just be it was the judge.
But you
Here's
can't.
my
Then our
argument.
system
Yeah,
is
look,
then our system is done, man. If
Our
it's,
system-
if it's true, if that's true, if judges have no integrity and all judges are like that and have no integrity, then America's done. We shouldn't even be talking about it. I
But
agree
here's the
with that.
thing, Tor.
I think America's done. I think
And we're
that's
done.
No,
You know,
America's
it's like, what
not
are we
done.
talking
what
about?
we do to repair it is what we got to do.
Let's go
Sure.
forward.
All the documents. So he's been cooperating with the archives all along. He's been handing over
That's not what the
documents
affidavit
back in
said.
January. He handed over more in June. If you look at the
Yes,
affidavit, it
in
even
June, they said
documents the
they gave him
15
everything.
boxes. It documents everything that they've already collected from him. They use
Yep.
that as part of the evidence to get the search warrant. But so Trump
was more,
says
right?
that he declassified all this. And as former president, we have to take him at his word. There's no
No,
reason
you
why we
absolutely do
wouldn't
not.
take
There's a
him.
process for declassifying documents.
No,
It's
not
not
the
something you
president.
can just say.
You're talking
they're done.
about people below president. For the president,
He's not the
there-
president.
he doesn't have to fill out a form, or all
He
he has
doesn't
to
even have the
do,
office of the integrity of the office of the president anymore.
he can just
It's up
say
to Joe Biden
these
to
are declassified, and then they would be
Okay.
declassified. On top of that,
So you're saying that again, there's no process. So this
for
is just.
president, there's no documented process.
Okay,
There's
Tor,
no,
what I have
there's
on
no law.
I
There's
think
no
there is, and
written
he's not the
record,
president.
Tor, I
procedure.
got a little umbrage with you continuing to
Please.
say that we don't call if a former president walks into the restaurant and
Yes, I
I
agree with
am
that.
the waiter, I'm
That
going to
is-
call him president this, president.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I have no problem with that at all. But that's an honoree. He is not the
It's
president of
not
the United
just
States.
that, though,
He is
dude.
not-
We're
It's a
not saying he's
respect
the
for the
current
office.
president. He's just
The-
saying, you can
The office of the
informally
president is
refer to him
occupied
as
by one
president.
man or one person, I should say.
We're not saying the office, we're saying the title.
That's what it is. That's what we're talking about. The office of the president.
So, okay, first of all, so Trump says that he declassified everything, and we have to take him
First,
at
he
his
said
word
that they
for it.
planted stuff,
What?
right? First, he said that they planted stuff.
No, they did not say they planted stuff.
Well,
They asked, how do we know that nothing was
Sure.
planted? It was just a question.
Let's put doubt. Sure. Okay. So doubt. That's what he did.
Yeah, there's
Exactly.
doubt. There's doubt being
No doubt.
sown from both sides. All he
Yeah.
did was ask the question.
He's got to
So
go
on
to a
top
judge.
of that, no,
We
no,
got
no.
the guys that go in there have to go to a judge. He can
So
sow
in-
doubt on his Truth Social. That's two very, very different things.
In the affidavit, it says, okay, documents, any classified documents, if they were classified, they need to be stored in GSA approved security containers. Guess who packed all this stuff? When they went from the White House to Florida, GSA was the one that came. Trump wasn't sitting there packing the boxes.
Yeah.
GSA came in
point.
and packed all those boxes.
Sure.
They're the ones that took everything. So
They
if they
put all the
wanted
golf
those
balls
in a
in
special
the-
container,
Right.
GSA could have put all them into a special security container of their approval. They had
Okay,
that
so,
opportunity.
yeah.
They didn't think it was necessary.
They could have also said you
So
should.
that's how we ended up with what we have. And Trump declassified them anyway
Sure.
by his word. We have to take him at his word.
I do not have to take him at his
You
word.
do.
No, you don't have to.
No,
but-
well, then
This
even-
is a man. If this man had honor, I would say yes. But he doesn't have honor. He's
But
not
the
an
idea
honorable
of
man.
not
Can we
no
agree on
honor,
that?
That's I'm
That's a
saying,
huge,
saying that's
huge
a
thing.
figment of your imagination, though. I mean, where
Excuse
does
me,
he
what?
really not have honor?
Do you know what his famous quote is from Art of the
Part of
Deal?
the deal.
Yeah, about obfuscating.
I don't know.
Let's
Is
look
this
up
some
that
kind
quote.
of
Let me look up that
bravado
quote while you
statement?
guys talk a little bit. I'll look up that quote. This is what this
But
guy
any
does,
sort
man.
of bravado. This is where people think that he's lying, and he does this a lot. But he's negotiating more than. Don't say he's lying. If I go to a car dealership and I say I'm not going to buy the car, I'm not going to buy the car, and I'm going to, and then I end up buying the car, that wasn't me lying. That was me.
Sure.
I was negotiating. I was
Negotiating.
trying to make them think I didn't want it to try and lower the price. He does that a lot. He's a negotiator. He's a businessman. But people accuse him of lying because he said one thing and then he does something else. You know, I mean, the idea of him not having honor because of this stuff, it's a real stretch.
And I mean, again, we go back to many other presidents. There's a lot of, you know who had honor? Fucking Nixon. And he's the one that got kicked out. He said, I fucked up. I love my country. I'm going to fucking resign. I'm dumbing it down big time, but
Yeah.
that's probably one of the most honorable things you could ever see. He said, I did wrong and it's better for the country. I'm paraphrasing. It's better for the country for me not to be here than
It took a lot to get him there, though.
Yeah, he was kind of honorable, at the end.
At the end,
All along.
when he got caught, and
Listen,
then he was
it
honorable.
can be argued that what he was doing in Watergate was trying to improve relations. That's been argued many times.
What?
I don't know
Okay.
if
With China.
Yeah, I don't know about
there are a number of presidents that I would say that are more honorable men. Like Jimmy Carter is probably the most honorable
Okay,
president
but
of
it's
my
not a
lifetime.
content.
And
I mean,
hands
obviously,
down,
there's
probably
lots
one of
of
the
honorable
worst.
presidents.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said, and that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They are not absolutely related. But when you're talking about believing somebody or as take them at their word, as Tom was saying, I don't have to take Trump at his word. He is brilliant in what he does, and what he does is he sows doubt in truth and allows himself to put his own narrative onto things.
Isn't that what
And
everybody
that is
does all day in life?
I said he's a genius at it, though. And like a long time ago, I was having these similar conversations, and we're talking 25 years ago, with similar folks. We had more hair back then, and we're smoking pot by the dumpster, talking about things. Yeah. And I said, we had ideas and we had thoughts, that we were talking about things, and Mr. Clancy was there, Jack, a lot, and we said, man, it would be great to do these things. And then we said, well, what happens if Palpatine does these things instead? And it was like, oh shit, because all of the things we're talking about was the advent of social media. It was the advent of making the world much, much smaller in a communication standpoint, making it cheaper in a communication standpoint. All of the avenues to really start what amounts to grassroots revolution were sown in 98 to 2006 with that technology boom, right? And people were just figuring out, how do we take advantage of this? And some big companies came out of that, and some big brands came out of that, and some politicians came out of that. And one of the geniuses in how to figure this out is Steve Bannon. He was one of the first people to take analytics and take that and apply it to the model of how do we manipulate the political, as we know it, the political system in America. Then how do we mentally do that, where we just have to really tweak the margins in 6 states, and we win all the time.
Well, George
Right.
W. Bush, I think, did that before. Did Bannon do that with Trump?
George
or-
W. Bush, we didn't have the analytics at that.
Oh no, they
Here's
no,
something.
they did.
Here's something I
It
think
was
you need.
2000
They were
well,
targeting specific states,
That was
and that's how he ended
2000
up beating Gore with fewer votes
Sure,
nationwide.
that might have been the beginnings of it, but we still didn't
Yeah.
it wasn't widespread enough at that point.
Which I don't like that process, but that's another.
It's the beginning
argument.
of it. It was the beginning, the genesis. Sure, let's go. I'll give them. But Bannon was a genius.
Hold on, I have a
Maybe he took
question.
a step past that, right? Go ahead, please.
So, I have a thought I want to pose to you guys. What bothers me more about this is, again, and let's not split hairs on me calling it the office of president. It bothers me that you attack the office of president. That's how I feel about it. You can
Okay.
feel differently, and I'm fine with that. What bothers me more is that now that can has been open, you watch, I guarantee, without a doubt, that the same thing that pendulum is going to swing back the other way.
Oh, sure.
And-
Reciprocity.
No, but you can't just go, oh, sure, because
No,
it's
with
not-
reciprocity. But this is
No,
where I
no.
also wanted to talk to you guys about this.
Wait, hold
because
on. It's not reciprocity. I didn't say reciprocity.
That's what it is, though.
No, it's not. Stop, Tor. Hold on.
You don't think that they've already.
Stop. Let me finish my thought. Okay. It's not about reciprocity. It's about opening up the can of worms. It's about saying that's been done. Now we can do it. It's setting a precedent, much like, and again, I am a Democrat. I know it doesn't seem like it to you because I'm not as far left, but I'm telling you I am.
I believe you.
But here's the thing. Democrats, we were all pissing and moaning, Patriot Act. Oh, you put it on the back of a bill that if you didn't vote for it, then cancer kids die. It was fucked up, right? but I didn't see one Democrat say, let's fucking get rid of that Patriot Act now that we're in charge. So it's not reciprocity. It's, oh, how can we use it? And that's the fucking problem.
You know,
So,
there are, I don't want to say that there are bad apples, but there are ruthless folks.
hold
Sure.
on. I'm not done with my thought.
I apologize.
So my point is that you feel fine with it now because it's going the way you want it to go. But when it comes back on us, if we're true to our integrity, we should be fine when it happens, when it comes back around. We should be like, oh, okay, well, you know.
If it isn't political, absolutely, man. This is what I said about Epstein.
Oh,
This is
well,
what
you
I
don't
said about Epstein.
You don't think this is political?
It's
No, I
absolutely
don't.
political.
Really?
Okay, no, not at all. I
Presidents?
really don't. This is if something like this, if there, again, this is where we started, Jack. I don't know when you popped in. What's the line? Okay. If there were sensitive documents, if there were top secret documents, if there were highly classified documents that were there in an unsecured location, that no espionage, not selling them, just in a place that they shouldn't be, and he told them that they were okay, that they weren't there. At what point is it an issue for you? Never?
Well, I don't,
Not now.
you guys maybe you've covered the process of how this was done, but I'm just kind of listening to while you go on. I mean, he's the Antichrist. Steve Bannon is the evil genius, and they're the only ones who play politics.
I didn't say evil.
And
I certainly didn't say evil. I said he's a genius.
Yeah, I know, Tor, but I'm reading between the lines here. I just have a problem with the way they did it. Now, the ends can justify the means to you. Like,
What
look
should
at
they have done?
Here's how I look at it. Al Capone. They were after Al Capone for fucking years and threw all the power of the government against him.
Sure.
And they finally got him for tax evasion. They've been going after this son of a bitch for 7 fucking years that I know of, with everything they can, with the power, the full force of the government. And now our president takes out his
While he was president?
his primary rival with the fucking National Archives and Records Administration recommendation. I mean, come on, Tor. Like, how many times do you impeach him?
Well, Jack, listen, again, this is you're excusing the behavior. Are we agreeing that the behavior is true?
No.
No, at this point,
So that we don't know. We don't
anything.
know. So what you guys are saying is there's
I
nothing
dispute-
top secret, sensitive, classified at all.
He
that was
says
in
they were
Mar-A-Lago.
declassified, and I dispute
So
that they were
President- so
unsecure.
it's
I don't
convenient
think-
though, isn't it?
I don't think
The
that
FBI
building was unsecured.
They were working with the FBI up until the point where the FBI said, okay, we got everything, we've looked at everything, just put an extra padlock on the door. And what was it, a month later, they come in.
That's not what they said, actually.
They did. They told him to put a padlock on the door.
They said they needed to secure they needed to be secure, and the secure means something very, very different to you and me, to the layman, than it does on the level of what they're talking about. It needs to be a secure location.
All the secret
So, and
service
by that,
police and
again,
armed
we're kind of
guards, that
saying, we're kind of
wasn't
admitting
enough.
that it wasn't secure then, right? By saying it needs to be more secure, we're kind of saying it definitely wasn't secure, right?
Well,
So
how
again, listen,
I-
this is where, again, you guys keep sidestepping the point that I'm trying to make.
No, your point is,
If there
what
were
he
classified
has-
documents that were there, that were in an unsecured location, like they are alleging in the affidavit, if those things are true, at what point is it an issue for you guys?
Well,
Never?
no,
Only if they were true, but I
Yeah, if
don't
That's what I'm
believe they were
asking
true.
you. So yes, okay.
Of course it's an issue, because he basically he walked out of the White House with boxes like every president in the history of the fucking United States has, and they decided to stick the NRA, the NARA, and
all
the
part
of this,
FBI and the
Tor.
DOJ.
It's all
on it.
partisan. It's all partisan.
Was-
That's fine. That's
Of
fine.
Was he
course
not
it is.
allowed to have?
Of course
I mean,
it is.
He's the
Listen,
president. He
so
was the
the
president.
judge is totally has nothing to do. Like there's no legal basis for this at all, Jack.
Tor.
Oh, well,
Could
also,
he not have
also the
any-
judge.
I'm just asking. So this is totally a partisan hit job.
Look, I suppose someone has to fact check this, but I remember hearing when they executed the warrant that the judge who did it defended Jeffrey Epstein in his case in Florida.
I
Now,
did hear that.
The judge
how
has no
partisan-
integrity.
How
It is strictly
partisan does it? Yeah, how partisan does it have to be for you to realize that basically the entire country's political fucking power has been going after the same guy for 7 years?
Listen, again, I've known about Trump for a long, long time.
Yeah, so have I. I
Right.
grew up here.
Same thing, right? We're in the same boat, right? This guy he's not the shining example of
Hey, you know what else
Americana,
was
right?
it?
No,
This is
no
the
one,
guy-
of course he's not. No one said, no one claimed
Yeah,
that he
well,
is.
well, here's the thing, Jack. So was he, at what point do you, you know, you and I know, was he mobbed up being in real estate in the 70s and the 80s?
I don't know if he was mobbed up. Was Cuomo
Who was his
mobbed
lawyer?
up?
Who was his
Well,
lawyer?
Hey, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm
wasn't
asking a
he-
question. Who was his lawyer?
I would
I have
say
no
if he
idea.
was,
Roy Cohn was his lawyer.
he was a
Roy Cohn was
victim.
his lawyer.
He was a victim then.
So,
What?
wait, hold on.
You
was
think he
a
went
victim.
into that willingly? I mean,
But
if
listen,
they're-
listen,
No, if
listen.
they're racketeering and shaking him down for every construction project and every casino in
You don't
Atlantic
think he's
City,
making money on it too?
Jack or Tom, do you
he
guys?
would have made
and
more
I'm not-
money if he didn't
I'm not
have to pay
dismissing
them.
you, Tor, but let me ask.
You have to
well,
pay
I'm
them, man. That's how it works. Especially back then, if you didn't, nothing happens.
guys,
Exactly.
so-
So he was a victim.
It's mutually assured destruction. That's the whole point of it. That's what he. That's
Wait,
what
wait,
continually-
guys, time out. Zeus is trying to get something off.
Please.
You're talking mobbed up, and if I'm not mistaken, one of the reasons that they felt that Kennedy was killed was, or who killed him may have been the mob. Apparently, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't it been pretty, I don't want to use documented, but hasn't it been said quite often that he may have had connections, and that's why Jack Ruby, this low-level guy in the mafia, killed
I don't
the
remember
Ari
the
Oswald
whys.
because he wanted to cover it up. I want to say that mobbed up isn't really something that is not that is foreign to the presidency.
There's a million different.
But though this
theories
is
on
where
that, so I don't
keep
know.
that's sort of whataboutism, because I'm talking about Donald J. Trump. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do
You
you?
know, and we're talking about
hold on.
this is a guy again. This is a guy that's not
He's
he's
sitting in a
not
dinner with Gotti because you're saying he's mobbed up. You say you know it, but you
No.
didn't sit at a dinner with him with the mob. I mean, this is where I get a problem with my side of the fucking political spectrum.
Listen,
that we
okay,
say-
all right. So
we
let's
say a lot of stuff. Hold on.
guilt by
We
association with
stuff.
Roy Cohn.
No, we
Right.
say a lot of stuff and we got no proof. We just say it really loud. And then that changes everybody's opinion because they don't want to listen to the loud guy screaming in the room. That's the fucking
Sorry
problem.
that I scream.
No, it's not you. I mean, it's you now, but that's the way it is with everything. If I yell louder,
Fine.
they'll just
Okay.
stop fucking bitching about it.
So what's between mobbed up and squeaky clean?
Well,
and
but here's
No,
my
this is an
point.
important question. This is an important question.
But no, here's a
This
more
guy
important-
falls way closer to mobbed up than squeaky clean.
Why? Because he lives in New
Because
York? If he lived in, Obama lived in
okay,
Chicago,
so-
he must
so
be
you-
the most mobbed up
Are-
fucker in the whole
Are you
planet.
saying that he's squeaky clean?
I'm not, I'm saying I don't.
I'm asking you.
No,
I'm asking your opinion.
I'm
Wait a
saying I
minute,
don't.
wait a minute,
This is
wait a
my
minute.
opinion. What's your
Wait a
opinion?
minute. Who the fuck is squeaky clean?
Again, this is my point.
But here's you want my
But
answer?
what's the point?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't see.
Let him explain the point.
Your point is that he seems to be a shady guy,
He-
so everything's
so
okay
you
that
guys-
they
but-
do.
So no. So at this
But
point
it's
now,
all
and
perception.
this is where I was trying to get with you guys before. If he did bad things, okay, or if he not even did bad things, he broke the law by having these documents. Nothing nefarious. Okay, he broke the law
Gotcha.
by having these documents in a place that they shouldn't be, and in a place that is accessible to other people that could be doing bad things.
Sure.
To Tom's point, if he just declassified them, then that's.
But it doesn't matter if they're if he waves his hand, there's the material is still the material. It's still even though it's declassified in name, it's still incredibly sensitive.
But what do you think is there?
Yeah, well, let's
No,
just let's
So
just go.
this is my
let's
point.
just
This is
go
what
with
then we
your
go to whys.
hypothetical.
We don't know what's there. So now it becomes
Do you
we have
think
to
he's
find
got
out.
like the blueprints to a nuclear sub or something?
don't
Why
know.
would he have that?
No,
with
we
him?
don't
We
know. That's,
don't
no, it's
know.
That's
it's a-
just some, you
it's
talk
a-
about throwing out
We
dirt.
don't know.
That's just throwing
No,
out
wait,
dirt.
we
to
admit
say,
that
oh,
there's
what if
stuff
he's
there,
got
right?
Wait,
They
nuclear
took boxes out. Wait,
documents?
did they just take boxes out? Because at some point, one of his lawyers signed an affidavit saying that they had given everything back.
I think a lot of them were tax documents.
I don't
weren't
think they said they gave
Wasn't there
everything.
something about
They
being-
said they
Yes,
gave
there's one lawyer
everything
who's
that
in a lot
was
of trouble.
requested
Okay, sure.
under And they said
they had to go
gave
in. They
it
took out
accordance
stuff,
with
right?
the law.
Let's just keep it to what just happened with the raid that Zeus has a problem with against the office of the president. I understand that to a point, but again, if something bad is going on, how do you do it then, Zeus? This
Okay.
is how you do it. You go to a judge, you go to them with something that's very well detailed as to what you're looking for, and you say, and if the system is and if you guys really believe that this is all partisan, going from DOJ, with Merrick Garland, who is going to be a Supreme Court justice. So again,
That didn't work out for him.
no, yeah, not our fault. One of those things. But honorable man. Anyone going to dispute that?
I don't. How do you know that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's my point, Tor.
Okay, all
A
right.
lot of it,
Okay.
dude,
Yeah, he could have been mobbed up
He's
for.
the
No, he
Yeah.
sucks too. He sucks too. Let's just assume the
Well,
worst
no,
about
Tor,
everybody except
Tor,
the guy that's
Tor, you're talking about the president, the former president being mobbed up because it's something that
he was
you
mobbed
think
up
is-
in the 70s.
because you think it's true, and then Merrick
Sure.
Garland's an honorable man because you think it's true. Like this is the.
What's your opinion?
It's
What's your
honestly-
opinion?
It's
What's your opinion?
It's
Jack?
not an argument. Well,
I'm
all
just
I know
asking,
is
Jack. It's
Merrick,
not an
Merrick
argument.
Garland.
I'm
Merrick
asking
Garland.
you what
Merrick
you're
Merrick
looking.
Garland says that the #1 domestic threat in this country is fucking white supremacy, the roving hordes of fucking white supremacists that are taking out old ladies on subway platforms. So I don't believe that. He also called parents at school board meetings domestic terrorists. So I don't like Merrick Garland very much either.
Some of those parents are domestic terrorists, Jack. I got to tell you.
Why? Why? Because they
why?
spoke
Because
at
we
the school board
redefined it like we redefine everything else.
Okay, all right.
People-
So
people that are fighting
again,
for
All right, no, but your
Tor,
we're
point-
talking about
Let's go on the
semantics.
side of
No,
the
no, no,
My
parents.
mother
we
was a
are.
school
Not
board
talking about
member.
No,
If
Tor.
somebody came up and talked to my mother, like some of these people come up, there's going to be fisticuffs at
Wait.
least, and nowadays there's going to be more than
Of
that.
course,
right?
but you can't just
So-
you can't reduce this to who you
You call
think is
people
honorable.
terrorists.
What, and
Fine.
you want to talk about?
My point is,
You
Jack,
want to talk about Hunter Biden's laptop?
you're telling me that
We
I
can
have
talk
to,
about
I have,
that.
you're telling, no, that's fine. Let's talk about that too. Send him to prison. If there's something wrong, how do you get that then?
Oh,
How
wait
do
a
you
minute.
find out?
All right, so
Tor,
Tor,
do
so
you
you
find
send
out?
Tor,
him to prison.
Tor, time
You
out,
send him
time
to
out.
prison, his dad's going to jail too.
Great. If that's the case, do it. If
Yeah,
there's
no,
something
no.
that happened like that, do it.
No, I see where
Because
Tor
that's
is
the
coming-
way it should work.
No, Tor,
That's
I
what
understand.
I believe. It
Tor,
doesn't matter right, left. And if you guys think it's all right, left, we're fucked, man. We
It-
really are.
Well,
The
you're
country's done.
kind of proving that it is with everything that you're saying about a man you don't really know to be true. For one thing, two.
Why do you, why do I have to believe?
No,
Trump
number
then?
two, Tor,
We're not
number
saying
two.
that.
Back
Yeah.
to your question. Back to your question about what if, right?
Yeah,
That's your basic question. If Trump is in trouble for real, if they actually finally got him after 7 years, then he's going to have to deal with that, and the country's going to have to deal with that.
yes.
That's
Now,
called
the
But
point
here's the
then, Jack,
problem with that, Tor.
if that's the
It
case,
just-
how
it
do you get the
dilutes
stuff? How
whether
do you?
Tor, slow down. Tor, here's the problem with that. This is all, everything that you're saying could have been done behind closed doors. We'll put locks on the doors for you, Mr. President. We'll find a place. You can pick it. We can lock them up. It didn't have to be made public. Okay? That's the irresponsible fucking thing that happened
They
here.
did that for
I'm not cussing
Obama,
you.
actually. They actually gave him a
I'm not
facility
cussing
and
you
put
for
all
what
his
I'm
stuff.
cussing at is
Zeus.
brazen behavior based on, and I do believe this, based on them not wanting him to have a chance at the presidency.
You know, okay, I totally, absolutely disagree with you.
Well, you can.
This is
disagree, but
not,
do it.
listen, and again, quite honestly, if that ends up being the case, if he gets exonerated in all this, I'll be the first one to come on here and say, mea culpa, you guys were 100%
Here's-
right.
But it'll be
Here's,
too
my
late.
here's
bad.
another thing that people should consider.
Sure.
There's a lot of people that he fucking fired that back him, that do not fucking sell him out. Whether I like him or not,
So,
yeah, there's a lot of people. He fired everybody in his first year. And those people have been called to court and nobody fucking threw him under the bus. So that means one of two things, that they didn't have anything, or he inspires loyalty from the people around him. And I don't know which one it is, but there's something to be said for the fact that most of the people that were around him did not sell him out. I hate the guy. I think he's a bag of dicks. I think he's pompous. I think he's non-presidential. And if you want to argue that, I got your back all day long. I think he's
Listen.
an asshole.
Hey, you
But-
got Tor, you got to admit though. So if this investigation prevents him from running in 2024 or from winning in 2024, you got to admit that works out in the Democrats' favor.
And at least,
Right.
No way. He has no chance to win, man.
yeah,
That's what you said in 2016. A lot of people
Well,
said
but-
that.
No, well, I mean,
He's actually leading in the polls as of today.
yeah, he has no chance to win. I'd love to see him be the candidate. That would be the best thing that could happen to the Democrats in 2024, because it would absolutely motivate everybody.
I don't know. It looks like they're trying
Absolutely.
very hard to discredit him and get him out of the way.
They spent money backing his candidate
Tor, I
in
got news
primaries
for
and
you.
Republican primaries that just happened.
I got
Because
news
they
for you.
know that he's a toxic brand, because the people, it's the 30,
It's
40%
just
in the middle.
politics. Trump backed some of the Democrats as well. He did.
Sure.
this- I mean, it's just politics.
Trump used to be a Clinton guy.
Of course
But
he
hold
did.
hold on. Here's the thing you
He
got to
doesn't
worry
have
about.
principles.
Hold on,
You know,
hold on.
you know, it's like-
Or he changes his mind.
yes, yeah, that's exactly what I
That's not a
said.
lack of
Yes,
principles.
yes, no, it is.
I used to be as far left as you. I've changed my mind. I
Your
doesn't mean I
principles
lack
are,
principles.
I bet you your principles are still the same. We're talking about the margins. You still,
Here,
believe,
listen,
you still
here's
care
what-
about your fellow man.
You
You
Here's
still
what you
feel
got to
like-
worry about, Tor. You really want to worry? You really want to worry? Trump does run, and he runs with, and DeSantis runs. And then Trump, if you want to make him an illegit kind of guy here, then Trump pulls a Ross Perot, bails, and gives all those fringe votes that would have probably gone to whoever the Democratic candidate is. They now go to DeSantis, who, whether you like him or not, he's a very popular guy for the president. A lot of people
Sure.
like him. And if Trump goes and he goes and Trump pulls out, DeSantis wins. Just my thoughts. I saw it happen already, man. It happened with the Clintons and Perot. That was a close race until Ross Perot bailed out. So be careful what you wish for. You might just get it.
Again, we're talking about this is
I think this is painting
okay.
into
So you
the
guys said this
harbor.
again a couple of weeks ago when I was on. You guys said, how do we get so divided? How do we allow ourselves to be this way, right? And ultimately, what I'm hearing here, and even from Zeus on the left, right, or partially left, whatever, however you want to say, centrist, you guys have so lost faith in our institution of government.
Not at all.
Well, it feels like it, because this is exactly how you would find out if the president's a criminal. And it's partisan. It's not partisan. This is how you'd find out. This is how you find out if he has done things that are illegal.
I'm
This
gonna
is
say
how you do
prediction
it.
for shows later. I
How-
guarantee you, Trump doesn't set foot in a jail. He might not even.
I don't
step
care.
foot.
Like he's gonna, of course, I think that
I
that's
don't know.
probably the case.
I'm not.
That has
I'm
nothing to
not-
do with it, though.
No, I've seen such a raw, vulgar display of power that I'm not convinced of that at all, Zeus.
You may be.
I-
You may have a point. You might be right. You might
Okay.
be right on that.
You know,
But if
Jack,
they
I
call-
certainly, I mean, I
having faith in our political structure and our judicial system as I do, I would like to think that if he is on the up and up and they got nothing, that this just goes away.
Well, yeah.
What?
Well, I think.
okay, I would love, yes,
Well,
sure.
Tor, yeah, Tor's acknowledging that the possibility is that, Trump.
And you guys aren't acknowledging the other side.
No,
which-
that's not true. No, Tor, that's not true. I said that if everything comes out the way you're saying it could, then he's going to have the whole force of government law enforcement on him. That's going to happen. I don't think you're wrong. I think that if this really did happen, even if it was shoddy storage and the negotiations broke down, they're going to use the NARA nail to fucking get rid of him because they
They're
don't
gonna Al
want him
Capone
to
him.
run again. I mean, I think you're right. There will be law enforced, and if he fucked up, then he's got that coming to him. I mean,
Okay,
Look,
perfect.
Let me
Is
say
what it
this.
is.
I'm good with that then.
Let me
And
say this.
so this is the problem. Go ahead, please, Don.
I was going to say, so what Jack's alluding to, what we're trying to say is that the reason it's political, so you could have used this same argument and arrested Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama. They did the same
Hunter
sorts of
Biden.
things with their documents.
They haven't arrested anybody.
I
No, they
know.
didn't. That's
That's
the point.
that's what we're saying. They didn't even like raid their houses.
They haven't arrested Trump, or they haven't arrested Trump
Look,
yet. That's my point.
The
Like, they haven't
Obama
done that yet.
administration tour, 126,000 times that people would put in a FOIA request and they would say they couldn't find the records. And then when like sometimes like there was a big one, the Gawker lawsuit that came up when they
What is the point?
put that lawsuit in.
Sure, I'll
point
concede
is-
all
listen
your
to
point
me.
because I
The
don't know
point
what you're
is-
talking about.
So
So
the point
Listen,
is they've
it's the-
never gone after a president.
was that wrong?
who-
What
No,
they
no,
did?
no. Listen
Was
to
that
me,
wrong what they
guys.
did?
The point is, like when the
No.
lawsuit came, then all of a sudden they found the records. Now, if you
Okay.
go by the letter of the law, look at the affidavit, read it. It says if you're concealing or covering up these documents, concealing, covering up, says it multiple times. That's what you could apply that to all these other, you can apply it to Bill Clinton, to Obama, to Hillary, definitely with
Right, all the way down the line.
servers and everything.
And she
If
wasn't
you
even
wanted
president.
to, like Jack is saying, if you wanted to nail
Sure, so then
somebody,
it's all okay then.
no, I'm saying it's not
What
okay
they did was
because you're
okay because
treating
this
him
guy's-
differently.
Here,
No, we're just saying that they went after him specifically politically.
If
Tor.
it's wrong,
That's why
if
they
they
never
did
went
it-
after anybody
Okay.
else.
So Obama broke the law the same way?
Right. If you
I
I
wanted to
thought
get
he,
me
I
for
thought his deal was,
jaywalking,
he
you
had
could
stuff from
follow
the
me
National
around.
Archives.
Eventually,
back
you
and
get a
forth.
film of me jaywalking, you could arrest me.
yeah,
But
Tor,
why
I got
go
news
through all
for
that
you.
trouble
Everybody
unless
that's ever
it was
been
political?
president
Sure.
stepped on somebody's fucking head to get there.
Of course. So this is, again, look, guys, I don't believe it's all political. I think that where there's smoke, there's fire. And that's the way.
No,
that's-
I get the
Yeah.
smoke and fire thing.
Well, but so then, again, so how do you find out if there's fire, Jack, if you can't do these things executed the way our laws are set up?
no,
You guys say
I
it's all
said,
political.
look, Tor, I'm not even, look, I think the process sucks because this was strong arm tactics by the fucking government that's running the show right now. They suck, they basically sick the DOJ and the FBI on the political rival
When
of
you
the
say
president.
when you say they, who is it?
Now, I'm
Like,
talking
specifically?
about the administration, Tor.
So this is coming from the president. President Biden said, go after Trump, get him any way that you can. This is what you're saying.
I think it's certainly a viable theory, Tor, and we don't know.
Sure. Of course we don't. I don't think the worst in people.
Well,
You
no,
do,
I don't.
I'm just
Tor, come on, man. You just said that Trump was mobbed up because he lived in New York in the
That's
70s.
one person that I talk about that I.
But you can't say I don't if you do. I'm not busting your balls.
But you
No,
also said
absolutely
Bannon,
not.
and you said
Absolutely
the
not.
name
That's
of
not
that
true.
lawyer.
That's not
What was
true.
the
That's
lawyer's name?
saying
Cohn?
that's saying the exception proves the rule.
Okay, there was
Nuh-uh.
a handful there.
You know, that's not the case.
Well,
I don't think he's a good guy. I don't
Right,
think
but-
he's a good guy. This is a guy that with the Central Park Five, after they got
I don't
exonerated,
think-
takes out a full page ad, still putting them,
But don't
saying
you
that they're
think
guilty.
No,
there's
Tor,
people-
He's
it's
not a
very-
good guy.
Tor, it's very obvious that you don't think he's a good guy. We've gotten that
So
at this
what-
point.
Yeah, so then Mike can have an
But
opinion on
does
him.
Garland
That's-
think
that's
that he's
pretty
not a good
informed.
guy?
But, and then
But-
you guys are telling me
Yeah.
that I have to accept his word,
And if
that he
Garland thinks that he's
declassified
not a
things.
good
No,
guy,
and I
no,
don't think that
no.
he's honorable.
No, nobody says that you have to accept him at his word.
Tom said exactly that.
that was
that was
before you
exactly
the
came.
quote.
Trump says that he declassified everything. And as a former president, I think we have to take him at his word for that.
I don't believe that, Jack. I don't think he's an honorable guy. So
No,
I don't
we
think I have
know.
to take him at his word.
No,
so,
we
so that's your
clearly-
argument. That's part of the argument is I
No,
have to,
there-
I
there
have to
is no-
I
accept.
have no reason
something I
not
don't
to
believe.
believe him.
No, I'm not making
Other
that
than your
argument at all.
perception.
I think all politicians lie. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm with you on that. That's why I believe that the Hunter Biden laptop is more important than you think it is.
I never
But-
said it wasn't important.
But the bottom
should
line,
watch that
is
episode,
if Trump screwed up, have no doubt that this is a victory lap you're taking because they are going to fuck him any way they can. And if he screwed up, then I guess he's got that on him. But I mean, honestly,
He deserves it. He deserves it. Done and done.
I
That's
mean,
it. That's
don't
it.
think
It's
so.
it.
maybe you're right,
Look,
but I still don't like
if
the
he
way
did
that
it-
they went after him. They
We
selectively
Or that's
tossed-
the thing I don't think you're getting. We don't like how it was done. I think
My
it's a
question,
strong
again,
argument. Hold on,
this is
hold
what I've
on.
been trying to get at from the
No,
beginning.
Tor's
on.
saying, well, how else? How else do you get
Hold
him?
on.
And that's my point.
How do you
too.
do it? You know,
Hold
it's like-
on. Again, this is the disgraceful part about it. And I think it is very arguable. If you guys ever watch the X-Files, I know Jack did.
Of
'cause
course.
Look at his picture. He looks like he's on the X-Files. I didn't really need to elaborate that.
No.
But there's
Light a
two
cigarette,
guys, I
Jake.
forget who, I think they were called the Men in Black, but they said a great line, and it applies to this. They said, "We change history every day and nobody even knows."
Sure.
Yes. If the biggest problem, which from what you're telling me, and maybe and if I misconstrued it, don't start yelling, let me finish. The biggest problem is that he had these documents and they were unsecured. But as far as I know, he let them come in, look at stuff. They said these are not secure, right? So again, this could have all been a behind the scenes thing. It's very arguable that they could have said, this is weird. Here's what you got to do it, and then we won't bother you again. They didn't do it. They could have easily found a way to have it secure, which I'm sorry, if my family's in danger, I'll take 6 or 7 Secret Service guys around me because I actually know one and they're badass. So
That has nothing to do with that place being secure, though.
No, but it's okay. You know what? You try and walk into his office.
No, there's not. There's
The play,
But here's my-
100 people
here's
there
my-
at any given time. There's
Four.
staff. There's a
Four.
lot of people that walk around
Four.
that place.
let me ask you a question.
Could they, based on your argument that these things were not secured, could they have made this not be the biggest
Political.
story of 2022 by just making sure that they're secured? No. Or I'm saying, do you think?
You realize that the people
No,
that are going in.
I want a yes or no. Could they have made it? Could they have done this quietly?
No,
As far as why they couldn't have done this quietly.
no,
Why couldn't they have done this quietly?
because again, we have no idea who has access to that room. It was certainly not locked down, secure. The people that are going in and say, wait, hold on. The people that are going in and saying that this room is not secure don't have the ability to look what's inside those boxes. You realize that, right? Because they don't have the
it must be
clearance.
pretty secure.
They don't, so they're just saying these boxes, which we don't know what's in them because we don't have the security clearance to look in them. We just know that their boxes are in this room that is not secure.
They could have been fucking Pokemon cards. They don't know because
They
were
also could
secure
be
enough.
really, really sensitive. So don't go to the extremes. Let's
No,
keep
but
it
what I'm
as they're sensitive.
But what I'm saying is they don't know because they were secure enough that they weren't able to look in them.
That's not
But
true.
let me-
They're
there's a
not
couple
able,
more
the
points.
FBI goes in and says, like you guys said, okay? And I'm not screaming. You guys should hear me yell. This is the way I talk.
Holy cow, you talk
Yeah,
loud.
it's crazy. Plus I've been coaching kids all day, so I got that volume going up anyway. The FBI goes in and says, guys, this isn't secure. You have to secure this. That's what you're saying is part of the timeline, right? This room where you're storing these documents is not secure. You have to do that.
I'm saying it should have ended there.
No, but my point is that was part of the timeline, right? They approached someone in
Yeah, like back in July or June.
Their
Right,
only
but-
requirement was that he add a lock to the door.
doesn't matter. That's fine. That happened, right?
And he
My
did.
point is,
Okay.
they go in, they look in the room, they say this room's not secure, you have to secure it. They don't know what's in the boxes.
It doesn't matter.
Again,
He
it does
secured
matter.
After
It
they.
It does
made that
matter. It
request.
matters incredibly.
Or you
Because
keep
you're saying
saying
that it's all partisan, that it's all they knew.
No,
They're
I'm not
saying
saying
they
that.
don't know what's in there.
Wait a
They
minute.
don't know if
Please
it's,
hang on.
they don't know if it's
Access.
super sensitive. They can't look. They can't open them and find out. So
Right.
for some point, that room wasn't secure. Right?
again,
the assumption.
they
No, that's an assumption based on pretty good fact
Let
that
me
they
ask
say
you
you have to
this, Tor.
secure it.
Let me make a couple-
it's not secure.
Hang
If they
on,
couldn't
Zeus.
look
Former
at it, it had to
president,
be
how-
secure.
Let me ask you this
Oh,
about the
we're-
political aspect, Tor. Has anybody ever created a false story about Donald Trump to try and
Sure,
disparage
probably.
him?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Can you think of a big one?
I'm gonna let you guys answer it because we're gonna talk about what's real and what's not.
Well,
And,
the
you know, and that
2016
depends on who on whose alternative facts we believe. I guess.
Sure. 2016, Russia collusion, stole the election. That was all made up.
Again, all made up. Paul Manafort had no connections at all. Didn't hand over data at all. That all.
Oh, so you actually, so
Sure.
despite,
Are you
despite
disputing
the-
this?
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. You guys are saying nothing.
Doesn't that
I
seem
just
like
said
it would be a
something
bigger
that's a
thing to
little
get him
something.
for?
But again, so this is why, again, it's
So
alternative.
go back
facts.
and read those affidavits with Sussman and Danchenko.
And
it's all
And-
made up.
Yep, Strauss,
100%.
yep, it's all
and
100%.
Tor, you keep saying alternative facts. Is that like fake news?
No, that was what Kellyanne Conway said.
I'm
Yeah.
getting tired of
Okay, so
people
there's a
using-
history of people going out of their way and
Yep, that was all
high level people.
Yep.
To try and get this guy off the table, off the chessboard, so to speak. Right? So, and I'm not saying
I
that
don't
happened.
know. I
I'm
don't
just
agree with
saying,
you. So
don't act
this
so
is why
surprised
this is
if
why
that's the
I think
case.
you
All
guys
right,
can.
well, all right, so you're not even going to acknowledge that Russiagate amounted up to a fucking hamburger?
That was the result of it. Yeah, absolutely. But
And, all right, and what about, so the two impeachments,
why did that happen though? Because
What about
the
the-
memos that just came out from Barr's office that are being chastised in the legal community for why he wouldn't go after the president after the Mueller report came out.
well, no,
Those
Barr,
memos that just came out this last 10
There was
days,
nothing there. It was nothingness.
the legal reasoning for him not to go after him is capricious at best.
The
Sure.
Steele dossier, all of that, Danchenko
Sure.
completely
Steele
made
dossier
it
is
up.
100%
It was
fake.
all
Yeah.
lies.
Yeah,
And
all
there's
lies.
nothing
Sure.
there. There were no emails going back and
Yeah,
forth.
100%.
Here's my
We
question.
can't agree. We'll never agree on that. So we should just move
Here-
along.
Okay,
Here's
well,
my
read those
question.
all right,
affidavits
well,
as
yeah,
well.
if the media's never lied about Trump and the administration's never lied about Trump, then the conversation kind of ends, because if you don't believe they've ever done that, then you
no, of
think
course
that
not.
whatever your side says is fact, and I don't know,
My
maybe-
side is I don't like the partisan aspect of that.
I
Jack,
don't
to be
either.
perfectly honest, because
But it's there.
I'm an independent, actually, registered independent. I've always been a registered independent because I think good ideas can come from anywhere.
I'm
You
a
may
It
be
just so
a
happens that
registered
the only party
independent,
right now that's
Tor.
coming up with ideas is on the left.
Sure, you may
Doesn't
be
come up with ideas.
a
so-
registered independent, but I think you identify as a Democrat. Here's my point. I'm joking. I'm joking. It was a.
I see. I gotcha. Okay.
He's a trans.
All right. Listen, here's something I want to, and this is from my experience. There's a man that we had on the show, John Paul Mac Isaiah, right? I don't know if you watched the episode, but there's a couple things I can tell you about this guy. I do not think that he is a liar. I don't think he has that capacity within him. This guy's life was ruined because a drunken, doped up Hunter Biden walked into his store and upset his whole world. You watch the episode. The guy does not give an insincere vibe at all. He doesn't even like try and bury the Joe Biden. He's just saying what happened in his life. So what I'm saying is that everybody is suspect. And what I will also say is that clearly Hunter Biden was protected by his father's presidency. Without a doubt, FBI agents have gone to John Paul Mac Isaiah and said, and I'm going to paraphrase, he basically said, I'm not going to die from this, am I? And they didn't say that, but what they did say was, well, I can tell you this, people that are quiet, nothing ever happens to them. That's a pretty fucking menacing statement. And that's from the same FBI
That's a horrible thing. Sure.
that's
There
by
was an
Biden.
I have no
That's
problem.
the same
Listen.
FBI. Hold
this
on,
is-
hold on.
Okay,
It's the
so
same-
again,
same
listen,
FBI
I don't
that
get
gets
into the
sort of-
semantics of Biden. I don't know enough about the Hunter Biden case.
No,
I
but
think
that's
the
not the
point
point.
is-
The point is that's the same FBI that went
Sure.
into Trump's
Right.
home and
Sure.
and just made claims.
Sure.
So
Again,
the point
look,
is,
guys, I don't know what to say.
everything is
The
suspect.
look, the way our world works, they went to a judge and they said, Judge, this is what we have to do. If that judge is totally partisan, in that words is not just partisan in this point, is corrupt. If that judge is corrupt enough where they're going to go against the law and they're going to just do this on a partisan basis, again, we're fucked.
Yeah, we
I don't believe that, guys.
we-
I don't
that's-
believe that. I don't believe that. I think that most people walk around with integrity. And I think that there's the people that live on the margins on both sides can take advantage of that in a huge way, and they do.
That's something
Okay.
we've been saying
So,
since the beginning of the show.
That's where, as an optimist, as somebody who believes, hey, maybe I should be wrong. I don't think we've reached as I said at the beginning of this, The reason I'm progressive, I don't think we've reached our pinnacle.
Or I don't know how you look at things that are going on out in the world. I'm going to tell you how I do, and it's not to say that my way is better or your way is better, but something I've learned from being on this show. I was far more left when we started this show. What I've learned is that with everything that goes on, I try and step away from it, and I try and prove the opposite of what I'm thinking and see if there's any holes that I myself, as just a regular guy sitting down here, can find.
Why I'm here,
If I
Zeus.
can- well, hold on. So
Why I'm here. I get you.
with this like Trump thing, I gotta go. If they got anything, he'd already be fucking off the market. I'll give you another one. Do you believe in aliens?
Of course.
Okay, you think that if this guy had that fucking information, he wouldn't have already fucking used it if he's the piece of shit that we all, I do
I
think.
think he was pretty damn close with the Space Force.
So wait,
I think he was, you know,
but here's my question. You either believe in aliens or you believe he's got some integrity? Because he would
I think that people said, Mr. President, you can't say that because it's going to make your base go nuts. Because
No,
all
but
of a
my
sudden their
point
worldview of one God.
Let me put it this
I don't
way.
think he has a lot of control over what he says. I think he's
Listen.
Sure.
he says things smartly sometimes. I don't
You
think
get an
problem
interviewer, you
where-
get the
I
right
don't think he
interviewer
has
to ask
filter.
that question. He doesn't do interviews. You get the interviewer to ask that question, it'll come out, man.
The problem
is-
where they went off the rails, guys, was not, it's not, we're not necessarily saying, okay, he didn't do everything, he didn't do anything wrong. We're saying, okay, maybe he probably broke the letter of the law somewhere with documents or whatever, even though, but we're saying this could have easily been overlooked or handled a different way.
quietly.
It's
Not
like
necessarily.
jaywalking, you could have got me with jaywalking, but
What if
Why go
again,
through all
what if it's the extreme though, guys? Or what if it's closer to the extreme in
Again,
that those
not a
documents are
spy
really
trying- he's
sensitive?
not-
Wait, we're not.
No,
he's
no,
not
no, no,
con-
that's not what I
No,
said.
you're
doing
talking about
espionage.
what if
No,
outcomes.
that's not what I
We're
said.
talking-
What if those documents are very sensitive,
We
are
got
top
that.
secret classified in a place that was not secure, that had people, as was said, going in and out on security
that
tapes?
wasn't the case.
Okay, I don't know how you know that for sure,
It's
because
Mar-a-Lago.
I just said
It's
if, and
secure,
you
there's
said no.
Secret Service everywhere.
That has
They
nothing
put
to
a
do with
lock
it.
on the door.
It can be anybody
they're in
that comes in.
boxes. GSA packed them the way
It's
GSA wanted to
irrelevant.
pack
It can
them.
be anybody that, if that room is, if people can get in and out of that room, that's the point. That's it. It doesn't have to
whole
be,
idea
oh, well,
behind rooms.
what, sorry?
I said, isn't that the whole idea behind rooms?
Well,
Go in and out.
not rooms that are supposed to be secure.
Listen, dude.
So,
like,
but that's the point. That's exactly the point.
But
So
it's
if there
definitely
was
an
really sensitive
overreaction.
stuff in there,
we're talking
guess-
over each other a lot. Hold on.
I guess we're all in a wait and see on all of this. So
not me, or I was, but Tom's not, because I said, what if, and Tom said no.
Here,
is it
here's
wait and
what I
see?
keep-
I
Here's
think
my
that
problem
there
with
was
what you
secure.
keep saying, Tor.
That's what I mean.
And it's not to inspire us to like get it at each other again. You keep saying that people went in there and saw that there were these boxes, but they don't know what was in them.
That's true.
Then why
FBI
is it
agents
not
can't- they
secure
can't
that
open the
they can
boxes.
open the fucking boxes? Why?
What's sorry?
Because there's cameras everywhere, because there's security there. Who wouldn't take that opportunity from a political standpoint to be the guy that got Donald Trump or threw him under the
Because
bus?
they haven't,
It was
I don't
not-
think
no,
that all these
stop,
people, so
stop.
you're saying the 20
Stop.
people that, the 20 FBI agents don't have integrity?
Stop
Everybody
saying-
doesn't have integrity.
The same
everybody
ones,
is partisan.
The same ones that told John Paul Mac Isaac that.
Not the same guy. You don't know if it's the same guy.
yeah, we
No,
don't know
but
who
the
the
point
guy
is,
You don't know who it was. My point is you're saying that nobody on that team that went in there had any integrity.
I'm
You're
not
saying that it was
that,
entirely partisan.
but
Yeah, you are.
what I am
You're combining them all together.
No,
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is that
You
you're
just said he was the
We're
same guy
setting a
that threatened
pattern.
the
No,
guy
I
that was
didn't
on
say
your
it was
show.
the same guy. Go back and listen. I didn't say anything like that.
The same FBI. You just said.
No,
those
it's the same FBI, not the same agent.
Yeah, so, but you're making everybody evil then.
Well, you're making all
No.
Republicans evil.
I certainly am not.
I'm joking.
Well,
One
wait a
guy,
minute, wait a minute,
one
wait
guy,
a minute. Wait a
one
minute.
guy I don't like.
FBI agents follow orders. No one's criticizing the integrity of the guys that actually executed the raid.
Somebody just said, Tom just said, wouldn't it be
point.
great? Wouldn't you want to be the guy that took him down? Wouldn't you want to open that document, open the boxes up and see what's in there?
Well, I
No,
think
No.
but the point is,
Because I don't think it's all partisan. You guys think it's all partisan.
I
at
don't.
this, I disagree with both of you. At this point, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, we're close.
It feels that way. I'm not gonna be surprised if it turns out that way. I like to have a little faith in the integrity, but it's that faith is getting worn very thin. We've done so many things wrong on the left since Biden's been here. We left $80 million in weapons.
No, more than that. More
Okay.
than that.
We left a shitload of guns to people that we know are going to kill the people that helped us for 20 years. Literally, we learned this in Saigon. There's this. There's the COVID fiasco. Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. This works. That doesn't. Mandates on fucking masks. How about in Loudoun County, or no, Fairfax County? Look up regulation 2603. It's just been put into effect in Fairfax County that if my son, and I'll use my son, I'll make my son the transgender in this story. If my son decided that he wanted to say that he identifies as a woman, they don't have to call me. And he is allowed to go into the females' bathrooms and locker rooms. So
Guys,
don't tell me that this, don't tell me that this.
We got to wrap up, guys.
Hold on.
Let's
You
give
guys-
final
I mean,
Don't tell
statement.
me
we
that
just
this
went in the-
administration is squeaky clean. That's all I'm
Let's
saying.
give Tor a chance to do a final statement.
Sorry,
and then
Tor.
Jack wants to chime in, but
I mean, I love
Love your
coming on,
passion, man.
talking to you guys because and you said this, you said you should look at your worldview and challenge yourself. This is why I'm here, right? That's the only reason. You said it's interesting. I don't like the landing on the political spectrum. We say I'm extreme left, I'm extreme right, or you're extreme right, or who's centrist or wherever.
I'm a pragmatist.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm much more. How do we make this world better? Is someone talking to me that's trying to make the world better? Because I don't give a shit if it's right or left. And because I believe in the goodness of man, and I believe in truly in our Constitution. I believe in those two things enough where I think that our future is going to be better than our past. Now, a lot of what you guys are talking about right now, and a lot of your the underlying attitude is that fear or the distrust of government. It's all pervasive. I don't believe that, and maybe I'm naive. That could be, but like the people that I admire, I'm pretty sure I would love to hang out with them. I'm pretty sure that they're the same person that I see on TV that I'm expecting. And that's why when you guys talk about judgments, I'm a video editor. So I get to watch actors and then I get to watch them not be actors. And I got another sense for that because I'm an editor. I've seen literally thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of people pretending, right?
Yeah, but this should be our politicians.
That's why the people that I like, they didn't start out as politicians. They decided to get in there and like, how do we fix this? How do we make it better? I want to make the world better. So when you guys say things like it's everybody in the FBI, the whole FBI, and we make these sweeping generalizations about one side or the other, I'm not making generalizations about anybody except for one person.
Everybody.
One person.
Okay, Jack, you give us a final statement and wrap us up.
Well, no, I mean, I appreciate that Tor has a positive outlook on things. I remember having a positive outlook on things at some point in my life. And I appreciate
Everybody's on my lawn.
No, and I appreciate Tor that with your experience, you can tell the bullshit artists from the non-bullshit artists. But you talked about people you admire, and you admire them because you think they're trying to help the world be better. I don't know who those people are, but I really hope you're right. I hope you're right, because there have been times where we've all believed in somebody or voted for somebody and then had a chance to meet them or to see them in action, and actions speak louder than words.
Sure. Or they a lot of our heroes fail us for sure.
Absolutely.
That's tough. That's why the ideal of the Constitution, I believe in that. I think that
Our
if,
heroes,
if-
are how we envision them and not how they really are. We
Sure.
we make, the pretty people, the Hollywood people out to be these great. Mel Gibson was the fucking man for
Sure.
20 years of my
what I
life.
do.
And then
Yep.
he gets pulled over and starts talking about the Jews. Like we paint them this way, and it's kind of unfair to those people in those positions. We make them gods, and they're just men.
Yeah,
I
but
think it's
also
totally fair to them. They sell out for that. That they understand that that's the case.
Or do they
All part of it.
succumb, or do they succumb to temptation? Isn't that what the devil uses?
Well,
Temptation.
Well,
I mean, if
wait
we're
a minute, wait a minute. We're also talking about this. Like we'll look at somebody in our belief in them and we'll make gods out of them, but we also make monsters out of the people that we don't admire or that we think have character flaws. And I think we're seeing that from both sides here. Like, I mean, I haven't heard anybody say that Trump is impeccable and flawless and
He's a dick.
No, right. Like no one's saying that, but one person is saying that he's basically the Antichrist. And I don't know
No,
that.
I didn't say that. I didn't even.
All right, no, you get the point though.
No, I don't, because that's taking me to an extreme. That's not fair.
No,
Because I've even said in all this,
I mean,
I said, let's take it as bad as it can be. And you guys say espionage, and I say, no. Just that they were classified in top secret documents. That could be the worst that it is.
no,
That's really bad. So I'm not demonizing him in that way.
No, Tor. That may be the worst that it is, but if that is the worst that it is, do you think he should go to jail for that?
I don't know what's there. Then like we're gonna have a trial.
Or it's
And we're gonna
fucking
find
alien
out.
documents.
And they're going to have witnesses, and they're going to present evidence like we should, and we're going to find out if he should go to jail. Because if it was,
Tor, that's totally fair. I got no problem with what you're saying. I mean,
I don't think it's fair though. I mean, in the middle, he's leading up to the 2024 campaign and you're going to put him on trial.
Well, that's what they're
then
doing.
he's above the law.
No, that's not fair.
No, Hunter Biden's above the law.
No, I'm not talking about Hunter Biden. Talking about Trump. He's above the law.
No,
Tom?
well, no. Hunter Biden's laptop implicates Joe Biden, so we're not just
Sure.
talking about.
We'll get there
Hunter
too.
Biden.
We'll get there too. That's
true.
fine. But right now we're talking about Trump. Is Trump above the law?
No, of course he's
But
That's what
here's
Trump
my
just said.
point. Here's my
Wait,
point to
wait,
that.
guys, I
If Hunter Biden-
gotta cut this off. But let's
Hunter
wrap
Biden
it up
was
for tonight.
prosecuted
We
right
could go
now.
on for hours and hours.
Here's
But
what I'll say real quick
Wait,
on the Biden thing.
Zeus, time out. Tom's saying he's got to wrap it up. I assume that's for reasons beyond
Yeah.
the podcast.
Okay, let me make this
Yeah,
final
let's
point.
not get in. Biden can be next week.
Well, I just want to say this. If Hunter Biden was the one that was being on trial right now, or before the Trump thing, that would damage the credibility of Joe Biden, therefore damaging his ability to go after Trump as is happening. So it is important. We don't talk about it later. We should have talked about it when we knew, when
If
we
he
found
had
out.
credibility.
Yeah, right. So,
Okay, I'm kidding.
but the point being is, this guy, there's probably pictures of him doing blow off a hooker's ass. And we didn't get to find anything about that because it was suppressed. And to say it wasn't suppressed is nonsense, because we talked.
I didn't say that. I haven't said any of that.
No, I'm not saying
I
you
don't
were.
understand what you're asking me here.
No, I'm not saying. What I'm saying is you can't say that we can talk about that later, because it is important. It affects the credibility of the leader of the Democratic Party right now, which is clearly Biden. Okay, so we can't just brush off this, but keep this. It's all justice.
We got it.
I didn't brush off
All right.
anything. I think there should be
All right,
justice
guys.
for all of them.
Great
I'm-
conversation. Great
Yeah.
conversation. We're going to end
Yeah, it
it.
really
We're
was.
going to put a pin in it. We'll see how the trial ends out.
Yeah, we've been on for a while, boys. It's time to wrap things up. Unfortunately.
Pleasure, fellas.
Yeah, I could go on for a while. Yeah, I know.